So you just picked up a brand new DJI Mini 3 Pro and you're probably wondering what are the best accessories that are going to go along with your new drone, am I right? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my opinion of the top 6 accessories that I think you guys will use with your new Mini 3 Pro. And if you hang out to the end of the video, I've thrown in a bonus one for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So there isn't really any particular order that I'm going to be covering these accessories in, but if we had to put a kind of like timeline on them, we're going to go from the least important all the way to the most important towards the end of the video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in with the first accessory. That is going to be more batteries and propellers. Now this may depend on your Mini 3 Pro setup. If you ended up getting the Fly More combo, or just depending on how you shoot or how you fly, you may or may not need an extra battery. The batteries with these new drones are getting really good or really long flight times. And if you have a little bit of practice under your belt, you're gonna do a lot of stuff within just a single battery. Now, as far as extra propellers, it's always a good idea to bring extra propellers along because you never know when something's gonna happen. You never know if you're gonna tag like a branch or if you're gonna tag something that causes some propellers to crack or to fail. Now, the good rule of thumb when changing out your propellers that a lot of people don't actually tell you is when you're changing your propellers, you want to change them in pairs because the two propellers that come in a single plastic bag are actually balanced for each other and it's going to keep some stress off your motors. The next accessory on my list, and kind of a quick rant here, I'm actually really annoyed with DJI. They didn't include a propeller strap with the Mini 3. They did with the Mini 2 and it made the drone that much better because the propellers didn't flop around when you're trying to store the drone when it's not in use. So not cool, DJI. You should have included one of these. It's kind of an essential accessory that should have been paired with the Mini 3. But in any case, get yourself a propeller strap. They're not too expensive. They're like 10 to 12 bucks and they make the experience that much better because you can contain those propellers. The last thing that you want when you're trying to store this drone is one of these propellers kicking itself out, smashing it, bending it, breaking it, whatever, and now you have to replace 2 propellers, all because DJI was cheap and didn't include a propeller strap. Okay, so the third one on my list is going to be a screen protector. Now this of course depends on what controller that you have for your Mini 3. I myself have the DJI RC. If you've got that same remote, maybe you have the DJI RC Pro, or neither one of these controllers are cheap and you're gonna want to protect your investment. You can order all sorts of screen protectors. Anything is better than nothing at this case. I actually ordered one. It didn't get here in time for this video. So I ended up taking a Amazon Fire tablet one and just cutting it to fit the majority of the screen until my proper one comes in. Now the next one on my list is going to be ND filters and polarizing filters. If you're unfamiliar what these are pretty dang needed for any type of video work. You're not always going to be shooting in the mornings or the evenings. Sometimes you might catch yourself shooting in bright sunlight, and an ND filter is essentially sunglasses for your camera. Now, to get that cinematic look, the good rule of thumb is you want to have your shutter speed double what your frame rate is. So if you're shooting in, 24 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be 1/50th in order to achieve that look. If you're shooting in a bright sunlight, your shutter speed is going to be way over that and you're going to have a stronger ND filter in order to bring that shutter speed down. But a good, nice pack should run you about 50 to 60 bucks for a nice quality set. And then if you can get the polarized ones, those are just going to make your colors pop a little bit more. So make sure you have yourself a nice set of ND and polarizing filters. So moving down that list, the next one is going to be memory cards or even extra memory cards. I can't tell you how many times that I've gone to shoot something and I realized I don't have a memory card. And sometimes on the older drones, they don't have any internal storage. So you're kind of stuck with not getting any footage because I don't have any. So I've been trying to get myself, and I would recommend you guys do this too, get yourself in a workflow where you offload that footage and you immediately put that memory card back into your drone. Like I said, bring extra memory cards. So before we get into our last accessory, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you put the drone up, had a camera, whatever, you got some really cool footage, you go to check the footage and realized something was on your lens and you completely ruined that shot? Don't lie to yourself. We've all done it, whether it was on a drone or maybe even just a standard camera alone. Bring yourself some lens cloths, and just like the memory cards, bring yourself some extra lens cloth in order to make sure that your guys' lens stay clear and you can get the best looking footage. That to me is the #1 or most important accessory that I always make sure I have extras of, is a lens cloth, because you're gonna need to clean, you're gonna need to clean again, especially depending on the environment that you're shooting in. You never know how often you're going to need to clean it. So bring yourself some lens cloth and save your footage, for Christ's sake. So as promised, for those of you that have made it to this point of the video, thank you by the way, the bonus accessory that I highly recommend you guys take with you is going to be a collapsible launch pad. And I carry one of these for 2 reasons. The first is it gives you a launch pad or a launch area that is safe. And if you've noticed on these mini drones and some of the other drones, their legs aren't very tall. So if you're trying to launch and land in some sand, you're probably going to kick up some sand in your motors, and you certainly don't want that. So it gives you a nice space to launch and land your drone. The other reason is it notifies people around you that you have a dedicated space that you're working in. Now you might be saying, Aaron, why don't you just use your hand to launch and land from? And to that I say, this is just cheap insurance. I would rather not drop my drone on the chance that I end up missing it upon landing, or maybe the systems on board decide to shift the drone while it's trying to land and it ends up falling on the ground, resulting in damage to the drone, or better yet, you may end up slicing open some fingers or something. So there you have it. There is 7 essential drone accessories that I think you guys should carry for any drone pilot. Now, all of the product links are going to be down in the video description, so if you want to check out more information on them, feel free to go down there and check those out. Let me know what you guys think about this list down in the comments. Do you carry some of these? Are there others that you carry? Share with me and connect with me down in the comments as well. That is going to wrap it up for this week's video, or at least this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. If you got something out of it, you guys know what to do. Happy flying and stay creative. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.